welcome. Thank you all for coming. I'm Deborah Vinsel, the CEO here at Thurston Community Television. And I'm thinking it's because I'm standing in front of a speaker that we have a little feedback. We're thrilled to reopen our new state-of-the-art high-definition studio. We began this project 6 months ago, and when you start a project like this, you kind of hope that everything is going to go okay. We started in late March, and generally speaking, it was a pretty easy process. We came in on budget. We didn't really blow the budget. There weren't any huge surprises. Things were good. And you know that you're glad when the universe provides and things speed by without a whole lot of problems. And we had several lucky moments. Our carpet in the new facility was delivered ahead of time. We thought we were going to have to delay things, so that was nice. And the budget, like I said, we adhered to, so we didn't break the budget. But Murphy's Law was in full force when we discovered a fairly significant leak in the studio ceiling, right up there, right over our newly installed cyclorama curtain, so that was a little dramatic. And the delivery date on our vending machine was kind of a moving target. We ordered it in April, and I think we finally took delivery on it at the end of July. But other than that, it was an exciting project. And we were glad to be able to do it with the support of so many folks. Robert Kam, our public access manager, shot some footage of the project throughout the 6 months and condensed it to 5 minutes. So here's what it looked like as TCTV evolved.
Last spring, TCTV embarked on an incredible journey, a renovation that resulted in a beautiful new facility with a high-definition studio and control room. In order to accomplish this, we had to close down the studio for several months. Our last standard definition shoot was March 24, 2014.
Getting ready.
Big change is coming.
The change is coming.
Yeah.
This is our last studio production with these cameras. The next studio production is going to be in high def. Back in the olden days, we'd set this up and then we'd get a shot of it with all 3 cameras, and then we'd match the cameras. So we had to make sure we documented how this was done back in the old days, back in 2014.
Back when you had to crank a handle to make it take pictures.
Yeah, we had to do that just last year, I think.
You haven't worked a camera in a while, have you?
This is the last time we're going to use the deputy, because the deputy's monitor grayed out. It turned all gray. We had to route it to this monitor.
What is that you're touching right there? What is that called?
This is a VTR, and this is a DV cam tape. Boxes of new equipment were arriving while we purged old equipment, shredded unneeded paperwork, and emptied out our offices.
This here is Susan's desk. She is in Hawaii. I did see her packing stuff up, maybe stuff for her trip to Hawaii.
Look, there's our old letterhead, our old logo. Congratulations on receiving a Best of the Northwest Award of Excellence for the live coverage of Harbor Days 1997. Somebody broke this TV. I think we're going to have to throw that away or e-cycle it. I don't know if we're going to hold on to it or not. And then I found this catcher's mitt. So we're going to go out and play baseball later.
The most interesting thing found so far was actually not in my desk, but it was found in these drawers. An article from the Bremerton Sun, but it has my name on it because it's an article about a place that I used to work.
Oh, let's see. This wasn't really part of the station, but anyway, I guess I had this from a really long time ago. It's Golden Tea. Found that.
Next, we moved everything into Studio A, where we had temporary offices set up while the facility was being remodeled. What happened to all the stuff on the walls?
I don't know. It's missing. We got locks on the door, and yet all the equipment is seemingly gone.
My office is empty. Look, that's Deb's office. That's all empty. This one's all empty. That's what's left. What a mess. Bob has not moved his stuff yet. Look at that. Come on with me. I'll show you Studio A. Studio A is looking a little bit different these days, having to accommodate a whole bunch of us. Right. Well, here we are. If anybody's looking for us, we'll be in Studio A for the next 3 weeks.
Here's a treat.
Here I have a little bar for you.
Oh, good. Yum. This is for the dance club lighting when we turn the music on and jam.
It's too bright.
No, it's nice and sunny. No, it's like the morning. It's like sunrise.
Just think of a Hawaiian sunset, yes.
Tree and my sand.
See, and you've got the red zone over there.
I have to get my work done someplace. So noisy in that studio, everybody talking all at once.
New flooring was installed and a fresh coat of paint to make the facility sparkle. The kitchenette was disassembled and rebuilt from the ground up. Meanwhile, we said goodbye to the old control room.
What do you think, Mr. Cam?
We've got a shoot in here tomorrow. What are you guys doing?
Oh man, nobody told me. You know, I did cancel Friday night's Dance Only Dance. I hope that was okay, but today is Friday. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Let's get this thing back
It's the
together.
first Friday. Put it
Yeah.
back together. We got Dance Only Dance tonight.
Dance Only Dance tonight, yeah.
Staff offices were set back up and Studio A became the staging ground for all of the boxes of new equipment. There was so much packaging that it took our staff hours to sort through the boxes and recycle the cardboard and polystyrene foam.
You can see the stains and the holes.
It was time to retire the old curtain. We installed a new 120-foot curtain that can be used in a 360-degree configuration.
It's looking good in here. What are you doing to that computer?
I'm fixing it. John, I don't need John's help anymore.
So tell me more about what this room's going to be like.
It's gonna have padding on the walls, foam and padding, and then there'll also be a fancy microphone and like a solid state audio recorder where you can just put in an SD card or something and then record your voice.
Last but not least, we set up the new voiceover suite, complete with acoustical foam. We hope you will enjoy working in our beautiful new facility as much as we do. We thank our members for their patience throughout this process. We are excited about the great new programming this facility will bring to the community. The possibilities are endless.
Many thanks. You have a stinger, you gotta wait for the stinger. So many thanks to Flying Colors Painting for their great work and Rubenstein's for the beautiful flooring they installed, and to Eric Utter and Associates for the design and installation of our fabulous new high-definition video system. TCTV is blessed to have a dedicated staff, and I'd like to introduce them now. If they're in the room here, please stand up. There's Susan Willis, Bob Neal, John Koch, Robert Cam, Peter Epperson, Bill Oliphant, Dan Bennett, Fred Dobler, Maxwell Brown, Vicki Adams, Paula Schuvler, Mertice Dobler. We were also supported this summer with some temporary staff and volunteers during our summer camps. They include Spencer Bowman, Martino Ribeiro, Mara Phillips, Jess MD, Andrew Ebright, James Bass, Leo Brine. Our board of directors is the governing body for TCTV. They're also volunteers, and I never underestimate what it means to be a member of a board and the time and talent and dedication that they give to us. So help me recognize them. Kate Jans-Kaprivnik, our president, Dennis Mills, our vice president, Sandra Kaiser, the secretariat, and Cynthia Stewart is our treasurer. Joining them is John Amos, Clyde Kuykendall, Mark Dolan, Jose Gutierrez Jr., Bill McGregor, Paul Pulaskis, Carla Sontag, Mark Sullivan, and John Tennis. They all put in a lot of hours to help make TCTV what it is. So now please welcome the president of the TCTV Board of Directors, Kate Jans-Kaprivnik.
So many jobs to do in so little time. Anyway, thank you, each and every one of you, for coming and for supporting TCTV.
Okay, hold your mic up.
Yes, ma'am. You'd think I'd never done this before, but actually I've been doing it since 2008. Anyway, TCTV would not exist were it not for the support and vision of our local jurisdiction. In 1986, the City of Olympia became the first municipality to contract with TCTV Community Media to provide services. Lacey, Thurston County, and Tumwater soon followed. We're proud of our partnership and want to and want to extend our sincerest thank you for your help in making this new facility possible. If you are here representing any of the jurisdictions, would you mind standing so that we can recognize you? Ah, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
So let me just make a note. We have Council Member Cynthia Pratt from the City of Lacey and Mayor Steve Buxbaum from the City of Olympia. Thank you for joining us.
Bless you.
Thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't say that Bill McGregor, who is on our board, is also Commissioner Bill McGregor from the Port of Olympia.
There's also someone
who
else.
else is here?
I can't see, the lights are...
Oh, hi, Sue Gunn, also from the Port of Olympia. People snuck in. We didn't know they were here.
Yeah, well, it's also hard to see with all the lights on, too. So anyway, thank you seriously for all of you coming. We'd also like to thank Heritage Bank. They are our financial partner for the project, and we want to thank them for their support. I have some additional comments. I want to thank TCTV myself. Were it not for them, I couldn't do what I've been doing. In 2008, I became a member here. At that time, I'd never held a video camera, let alone know how to use it. They taught me everything I needed to know to start producing videos. And then as I got stuck along the way, they were always there to answer every single question and help me out. Gosh, I've done over 100 videos, either myself or with partnering with someone else. So I cannot thank them enough.
Well, thank you for your time. Kate has been our board chair for the last 2 years, and prior to that, a prolific producer. So thank you for being here and for being my support through this project, because it's been fun, but it has been a little stressful. It's been nice to have you there.
Thanks, Deb.
Thanks. Well, now everybody, it's time to officially open this Community Media Center, the community media facility, high definition for our community. So I want you to count down with me. If you watch the screen, might be a little hard to see right now. Here we go. Ready? We gotta hang on. Okay, it's coming. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! You got to do something with technology when you do these kinds of things. Thanks again to everybody for coming, and to all of you out in the community who have supported us over the years. It's my pleasure to be a part of what goes on here, and I'm so thankful and blessed that I have a career that is so fulfilling with such a fabulous group of people, and I appreciate you all very much. So now I want to call our friends back up who you met outside, the members of Pickin' on the Hearth. Where are they? Come on up. They're going to close the show with a little bit of music. While they're getting set up, I do want to share that membership in TCTV is easy. All you have to do is give us a call. We'll be glad to tell you about becoming members of TCTV and all the opportunities that there are here for you. We have training classes and everything from how to run a portable camera to how to do voiceovers and animations and run the equipment in our studio, and you can be a part of what goes on here. Hey, and that's called a delay. Hey, we're glad you can be a part of what happens, and we invite you to come, put yourself in the picture here at TCTV. So now I'm going to turn it over to Pickin' on the Hearth. Thank you for joining us. Okay.
We love that delay. Ready? I guess so. Keep your eyes well peeled today. The excisemen are on their way, searching for the bobtail in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin pans, the mash, the corn, the barley and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise-man, keep the smoke from rising barley. Mountain breezes as they blow, hear their echo in the glen below. County men, they're on the go in the hills of Connemara. Gather up the pots and the old tin pans, the mash, the corn, the barley and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise-man, keep the smoke from rising barley. Well, feature in Fort Worth town, the Bible for poor old Father John. Had us prayers and hymns along in the hills of Connemara. Gather at the pots and the old tin pans, the mash, the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like the devil from the excise man, keep the smoke from rising barley. Stand your ground, boys, it's too late. The excisemen are at the gate. Glory be to God, but they're drinking it straight in the hills of Connemara. Gather at the pots and the old tin pans, the mash, the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like the devil from the exciseman, keep the smoke from rising barley. You swing to the left, then you swing to the right. The excisemen will dance all night, drinking up the tay till the broad daylight in the hills of Connemara. Gather at the pots and the old tin pans, the mash, the corn, the barley, and the bran. Run like the devil from the exciseman, keep the smoke from rising barley.
Thank you. We are Cricket on the Hearth, with Dusty Rhodes down there wailing away on that fine banjo. Next to him is the finest fiddler in all of TCTV right now, this very moment, and Thurston County, without a doubt. And young Bert Meyer here on the squeeze box. Oh yeah, Deb Collins. Duh. And young Bert Meyer here on the squeeze box.
And this is Di Meyer playing the bass. And we play a lot of Irish music. We play other music besides. I have a good friend over in Ireland that phones me from time to time and gives me the news. So every once in a while we intersperse a bit of the news from Ireland. He called the other night and he says, there was a terrible windstorm in Ireland. You know, the weather's been terrible, except for here in the Northwest. It's true. I don't understand that. We usually get the brunt of it. But anyway, in Ireland, they had a terrible windstorm come down. And so Murphy, my good friend, he said, his neighbor called him and he says, well, how did you do last night, Murph? And Murph says, well, except for one of my hens got out. He said, but it turned out okay. He says, she just turned her back to that wind, but she did lay the same egg 5 times.
That's a strong wind. Yes. How about a pick?
Gotta get the lady a pick here.
I need a pick. I get picky for a pick.
There you go.
Thank you. This is a little song called I'll Tell Me Ma When I Get Home. The boys won't leave the girls alone. I'll tell me Ma when I go home. The boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair, stole my comb. Well, that's all right till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty. She is the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Says he loves her, all the boys are fighting for her. They knock at the door, they ring the bell, saying, oh, my true love, are you well? Out she steps as white as the snow, rings on her fingers, bells on her toes. Old Jenny Murray, she'll say she'll die, and she don't get the fellow with the roving eye. Ah, tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair, stroll my comb, but that's all right till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's counting 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Let the wind and the rain and the hail blow high. Let the snow come tumbling from the sky. She's as nice as apple pie. She got her own love by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell Ma when she gets home. Let them all come as they will, but it's Albert Mooney she loves still. I'll tell me Ma when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair, stroll my comb.
city. She is courting 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she?
Thank you. The Linus Donkey.
Well,
Do you have a guitar on the Linus Donkey? Pick.
next song is about a horse race that, you know, everyone knows that the Irish have a great love of gambling and horse racing in particular, and this particular horse race involved a donkey. And so this is the story of Delaney's donkey. So, are you ready, boys?
We're ready.
All right. Now Delaney had a donkey that everyone admired, temporarily lazy and permanently tired. A leg at every corner, balancing his head, and a tail to let you know which end he wanted to be fed. Riley slyly said we'd underrated it, why not train it? Then he took a rag, they rubbed it, scrubbed it, oiled it, and brocaded it, got it to the post, and when the starter dropped his flag, there was Riley pushing it, shoving it, and shushing it. Hogan, Logan, and everyone in town lined up attacking it, shoving it and smacking it. They might as well have tried to push the town hall down. The donkey was eyeing them, openly defying them, winking, blinking, twisting out of place. Riley reversing it, everybody cursing it. The day Delaney's donkey ran the half-mile race. Now the muscles of the mighty, never known to flinch, they couldn't budge the donkey a quarter of an inch. Delaney lay exhausted, hanging round its throat, with a grip just like a Scotsman on a 5-pound note. Starter, carter, lined up with the rest of them. When it saw them, it was willing then. It raced up, braced up, ready for the best of them. The crowd began to cheer it, then it changed its mind again. And there was Riley, pushing it, shoving it, and shushing it. Hogan, Logan, and Marianne McGraw. She started poking it, grabbing it, and choking it. It kicked her in the bustle, and it laughed, hee-haw. The Whigs and Conservatives, the Radicals, Superlatives, the Liberals, Tories, they hurried to the place, stood there in unity, helping the community. The day Delaney's donkey ran the half-mile race. Now the crowd began to cheer, then Rafferty the judge, he came to assist them, but still it wouldn't budge. The jockey who was riding, little John McGee, got so thoroughly disgusted that he went to have his tea. Pagan with students of psychology, swore they'd shift it with some dynamite. They bought it, brought it, then without apology, the donkey gave a sneeze and blew the whole lot out of sight. There was Riley, pushing it, shoving it, shushing it. Hogan, Logan, and all the valley crew. Police and auxiliary, the garrison artillery, the second Enniskillens and the lifeguards too. They seized it and harried it, they picked it up and carried it, cheered it, steered it to the winning place. Then the bookies drew aside, they all committed suicide. The day Delaney donkey won the half-mile race. Yes, the day Delaney's donkey won the half-mile race. Thank you.
All right. No. Okay.
Do you love an apple,
Do you love an
Dan?
apple? I'm going to introduce this one.
Deb.
There it is.
All right, this song is called Do You Love an Apple? And it's an Irish ballad.
I need the right.
Right, Tina.
Do you love an apple? Do you love a pear? Do you love a laddie with bonny brown hair? And still I love him, I can't deny him. I'll be with him wherever he goes. Before I got married, I wore a black shawl. But since I got married, I wear bugger all. And still I love him, I can't deny him. I'll be with him wherever he goes. He stood at the corner, a fag in his mouth, 2 hands in his pockets, he whistled me out. And still I love him, I can't deny him. I'll be with him wherever he goes. He works He works at the pier for 9 bob a week. On Saturday night he comes rolling home drunk. And still I love him, I can't deny him. I'll be with him wherever he goes. Before I got married, I'd sport and I'd play. But now the cradle, it gets in me way. And still I love him, I can't deny him. I'll be with him wherever he goes. Do you love an apple? Do you love a pear? Do you love a laddie with bonny brown hair? And still I love him, I can't deny him. I'll be with him wherever he goes. And still I love him, I can't deny him. I'll be with him wherever he goes.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Good job, Dave.
Thank you.
Well, we usually try to include songs in the set that are educational as well as entertainment. And this next one, a lot of folks have heard the song Ghost Riders in the Sky. Do you remember that one from back late 40s? Vaughn Monroe sang it. What people may not realize is that that's a very old song, an old Irish song that Vaughn Monroe changed just a bit. Well, we did some research and went back and found the original, which was not Ghost Riders in the Sky, it was Goat Riders in the Sky. And we're prepared to do that for you today.
It's wonderful to have a researcher in the family.
An Irish lad went riding out one dark and dreary day. Up on the moors he rested as he went along his way. some whitey herd of smelly goats he saw, plowing through the ragged sky and up a cloudy draw. Aaron go brown, Aaron go gray, hey, 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 gold bird in the sky. Their faces red and haggard and their eyes bloodshot as well. Their horns are drooping to the ground, their foul breath he could smell. A bolt of fear went through him as they stumbled through the sky, for he saw the leprechauns a-coming. I see him! He sees them! Here they come! And he heard their mournful cry. Aaron go brown, Aaron go gray, hey, 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 gold riders in the sky. Their faces gaunt, their eyes are blurred, shirts all soaked with sweat. They're riding off to somewhere, but they ain't got there yet. No, not yet. For they've got to ride forever on them moors up in the sky. It's a silly thing to do. When you ask, they don't know why. Haven't got a clue. Aaron go brown, Aaron go gray, hey, 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 gold riders in the sky. As the leprechauns came riding by, he heard one call his name. Hey, Murphy! You think you're going crazy, lad? You're just yourself to blame. Nobody else. So get on back to Dublin, or where you call your home, or you'll spend all eternity, at least a long, long time, up on that Blarney stone. Aaron go brown, Aaron go gray, hey, 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 gold riders in the sky. Gold riders in the sky.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, we've got one of the classics for you. Murphy, I forgot to tell you, Murphy said the other, Murphy got a call from his friend Finnegan. Murphy had opened up the paper that morning, and in the obituaries, he read his own name. Well, you know, if you can read your own name in the obituaries, you shouldn't be there yet. So he says to Finnegan, Finnegan, did you read the obituaries this morning? Finnegan says, that I did. He says, and did you see? He says, yeah, I saw. He says, by the way, he says, where are you calling from?
But I'm Ching.
Oh, yes.
Here's a classic.
Well, we'll
Danny
let them be
boy.
the judge of that. Yeah. So do you have the, let's see.
The opening.
All right.
Key and D. This is Danny Boy.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the leaves are fallen. It's you with you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Cause I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Come, and all the flowers are dying. If I am dead as dead I well may be, well, come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. All I shall hear the soft you tread above me, and all my grave will warmer, sweeter be. And you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our good friend Patrick Hill, who for many years worked for Evergreen State College. When Patrick was growing up in New York in an Irish family, the family belonged to an abstinence organization called the Pioneers. And this abstinence organization was also very prominent in Ireland. And Patrick thought it was somewhat unfair, the reputation that the Irish sometimes seem to have foisted upon them for a love of the drink. And he thought there are other ethnic cultures in Europe that might drink more than the Irish. And so he delved into the rich collection of Irish songs, folk songs, to find the anti-drinking songs. And he pulled out a set and put a few poems with them. He made the following set we're going to do for you. The odd thing is, these anti-drinking songs that that Patrick put in here are usually always sung with a pint in your hand.
Very good.
Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. As I went down to Glasgow City, Nancy whiskey a chance to smell. I went in, sat down, beside her 7 long years. I loved her well. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. I acquired my taste for whiskey at the tender age of 10. Now 'tis 10 times a day that I wish I were 9 again. Oh, whiskey, you're the devil, you're leading me astray, over hills and mountains and to America. You're sweeter, stronger, decenter, you're spunkier than tay. Oh, whiskey, you're me darling, drunker sober. 'Twas the pig fair last September, a day I well remember. I was struck up and down in drunken pride. My knees began to flutter as I slid down in the gutter, and a pig come up and laid down by me side. As I lie there in the gutter, thinking thoughts I could not utter, I thought I heard a passing lady say,
You may tell someone who boozes by the company he chooses.
And with that, the pig got up and walked away. I've been a wild rover for many a year, and I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. The angel that God sent to guard me is named Gwyneth. After 2 pints of Guinness, I could not pronounce her name. Might we consider, I pray, an exchange? A Catherine or a Michael would do. But God frowned upon this cosmic shuffling and offered at most a stew. I feel downright deflated to be guarded by an angel named Stu. So I'll stick with God's choice of Gwyneth, and I'll limit me Guinness to 2. I'll go back to me parents, confess what I've done, and ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they caress me as oft times before, then I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. So come all ye weavers, ye Calton weavers, come all ye weavers, where'er ye be, beware of whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. She'll ruin you like she ruined me. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh.
Oh.
Thank you. Let's see, you're gonna dance one, Deb?
Okay.
All right, yeah.
All right.
If we got a little room out front here, our fiddler can also do a shake a fine leg.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play a short reel for you, and Deb will do a little dance.
So this is called Irish step dancing, and usually it's done by young boys and girls in Ireland. They first learn how to use something called a soft shoe, and the first step is called sevens. So this is what you would see little kids doing when they first learn how to do their steps.
You're what?
Concertina reel. Well, we got a couple more, and one of them is a song written by a fellow here in Olympia, Steve Kelso. Dusty's gonna sing us
Steve
about
Kelso,
the benefits.
wrote this song a number of years ago. According to the folklore surrounding this song, Steve at one time owned an old Victorian-style house down near the state capitol that had been converted into a couple of apartment units, and the apartments were rented by young women who worked for the state agencies nearby. And they weren't very expensive places, and it was kind of old. And these gals, one of them in particular, was after Steve to convert the old clawfoot bathtub in the bathroom into a shower. She wanted to be able to take a shower, and well, Steve looked into the expense, and the rent just didn't justify the expense of the conversion, so he wrote this song to try and convince her of the virtues of a hot bath. Now, me, I made some millions and lost a few. I've been on Easy Street and on the Skid Road too. I've tasted all the pleasures on the Primrose Path, but I never found a thing to beat a good hot bath. First you turn on the tap and then you lay right back and then you slip. Oh yeah, slip right in. Feels so good you can't believe it. Ain't a sin, but it's a hot bath. It's a oh my oh yeah, it's a hot bath. It's a hot bath. I never found a thing to beat a good hot bath. Well, you can keep your cognac and your caviar, your fancy Caribbean cruises and your Cadillac car. I don't want to lounge around in your exclusive club. I'd rather have an hour in a good hot tub. First you turn on the tap and then you lay right back and then you slip. Oh yeah, slip right in. Feels so good you can't believe it. Ain't a sin, but it's a hot bath. It's a oh my oh yeah, it's a hot bath. It's a hot bath. I never found a thing to beat a good hot bath. Well, it's the finest way of getting loose that I know of. It has no dangerous, awful side effects like falling in love. Cheaper than booze, it's impossible to steal. The hot bath has gotta be the world's best deal. First you turn on the tap and then you lay right back and then you slip. Oh yeah, slip right in. Feels so good you can't believe it. Ain't a sin, but it's a hot bath. It's a oh my oh yeah, it's a hot bath. It's a hot bath. I never found a thing to beat a good hot bath. Well, I ain't never found religion, of course I really ain't looked. And if virtue's found in churches, my goose is cooked. But I'd walk my whole life along the straight and narrow path if I thought that it would lead me to a good hot bath. First you turn on the tap and then you lay right back and then you slip. Oh yeah, slip right in. Feels so good you can't believe it. Ain't a sin, but it's a hot bath. It's a oh my oh yes, a hot bath. It's a hot bath. I never found a thing to beat a good hot bath. I never found a thing to beat a good hot bath. Oh no, I never found a thing to beat a good hot bath. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, we're gonna
one last tune here.
One last tune here. It's been a pleasure for us to play for TCTV. I'm one of the people that works with TCTV as a producer, independent producer, and they've shown some of my programs over TCTV. So this one may get shown too, who knows?
You never know.
This is a story about Tim Finnegan. And Tim Finnegan was a hod carrier who fell off of a ladder. I can relate to that. I fell off of a ladder this week myself, but I survived it. Tim didn't. He fell and he broke his neck. But in Ireland, they hold a wake for the departed party. But the wake for Tim Finnegan was so good that Tim didn't want to miss it. This is Tim Finnegan's wake. Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street, a gentleman Irish mighty odd. He ate a beautiful brogue so rich and sweet. To rise in the world he carried a heart. You see, he'd sort of a devilish way with the love for the liquor, for Tim was born to help him on with his work each day. He'd drop in the grather every morn. Whack for the down, now dance to your partner, well the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. One morning Tim felt rather full. His head was heavy, it made him shake. Fell from a ladder and he broke his skull. Carried him home, his corpse to wait. Rolled him up in a nice clean sheet and laid him out upon the bed with a gallon of whiskey at his feet, a barrel of porter at his head. Whack the down, now dance to your partner, wilt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Assembled at the wake. Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. First she brought the tea, the cake, the pipes, tobacco, and the whiskey punch. Biddy O'Brien began to cry. Such a nice clean corpse did you ever see? Tim Mavorn, and why did you die? How to hold your cup, said Paddy McGee. Whack the down, now dance to your partner, wilt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Then Maggie O'Connor took up the job. Oh, Biddy, said she, you're wrong, I'm sure. Biddy gave her a belt on the gob and left her sprawling on the floor. Then the war did soon engage, was woman to woman and man to man. Shillelagh law was all the rage, and around one eruption soon began. Whack for the down, now dance to your partner, wilt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Ducked his head when a noggin of whiskey flew at him. He missed and landed on the bed. Liquor scattered over Tim. Tim realized, see how he rises. Timothy rises from the bed. Said, pour your whiskey round like blazes. Fanaman deal, do you think I'm dead? Hey, whack for the down, now dance to your partner, wilt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Whack for the down, now dance to your partner, wilt the floor your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's wake. Hey! Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ooh. Oh, all right.
Is that